Looking like a baddie, I show up and make them stop. Wanna know my name so badly, cause I run this whole block. Flip my hair, move my head, show the world I'm royalty. When I walk by, they be taking bows, cause they know I'm a queen, yeah. Move it, move it, groove it, groove it. They wanna know just how I do it when I do it, do it. I got that magic touch, it's a rush, coursing through my veins when I show up.
Hola mi gente, what's up my peeps? Oh my god, I miss you guys so much. I really have. We have a lot of catching up to do. Everyone, thank you so much for joining your girl Linda Lynn on Could Be You TV. If you can please share the link, the video. We are live on Facebook. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Twitch, Roku. What is that new one, Bobby? It's not Twitter anymore. X. Yes. We're live on X, right? Yep. We're live on X. Oh my God. So there's absolutely no excuse. And how about this? Saturday mornings at 10 a.m., channel 115, on Cablevision we are on. Woo! Can I get a hand of applause? Yes. So there's absolutely no excuse why anyone is not watching the show, and just share, because, you know, sharing is caring. And guys, I can't wait to talk to you guys. So please, let's chit chat on the chat here. And before we get down to the nitty gritty, let's go and give out some birthday shout outs. Happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños. Wow, it seemed that there's only one female in that whole, and that was my girl Michelle, by the way. So happy birthday to everyone. And in case you're wondering, how did I know it was your birthday? Well, if we are friends on Facebook, you know the notification that you get that it's your birthday? Well, that's how I know. And if you are not my friend, then you should be my friend. This way I can give a shout out. And in case you don't even have Facebook, if you just happen to watch this on YouTube, you can always email at couldbeyoutv@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to give any kind of shout out, whether it's anniversary, birthday, and just say hello. So guys, I have a lot to talk about because you know, I just got back from the motherland. Yes. It was super amazing, and 1 week is just not enough. It is not enough because I go to see my family, and it's just never enough when you know, I want to spend more time with my mama. But I have to say that it was a very, very productive week for me. I got to share time with my family, and I got to see some of my friends. Shout out to, you know, Jibaritos with Troops. They were out there doing their thing with the, they were doing their games, their softball games between the Suffolk Police Department and Aguadilla Police Department, which was pretty amazing to have stopped by and say hello. And also, I got to spend some time and be part of what I love to be part of, is with my friends out here to participate and cheerlead for the arm wrestling tournament they had out there, which we'll be talking about in a few. But you know what? I just want to give a little recap of my little adventure. So, Bobby, you want to play that?
We're gonna have some good times with good friends, making good memories. A little bit of sunshine and good vibes, yeah, that's all we need. And we ain't gonna worry, ain't in a hurry, everything is going our way. We're gonna have some good times with good friends, making good memories.
And that was it. It was short but sweet. It was short but sweet, but I did have an amazing time. It was great to see, of course, like I said, my family and friends and stuff like that. But tonight we have an amazing, amazing night. It's going to be so much fun. I have a great guest that I can't wait for you to meet him. So before we do that, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to come back with our guest. So see you in a bit.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
Are you a man or a monster? Are you a man or a monster? Are you a man or a monster? When you look at yourself, are you a man or a monster?
Ready to go! Come on, Dan! Yeah, that looks better.
So hard to tell which side you're on. One day is hell, the next is the dawn. The lines are blurred, they keep rubbing their eyes. The tables turn, now it's time to survive.
Woohoo! And with no further ado, drum roll please. Here we have Dan the Nightmare. Woohoo! Thank you so much for being on the show. Welcome, welcome. Yes, we have so much to talk about and catch up. Yeah, so first of all, we have to get to the bottom of this. Where does Dan the Nightmare come from?
So early on, I went to a tournament here in New York. A buddy of mine, Chris Lacco, a pretty well-known arm wrestler, saw how intense I was at the table, and he says, "Man, you're an absolute nightmare for your opponents, aren't you?" And I said, "Did you just give me my nickname?" He's like, "I think I did." And I kind of adopted a name and ran with it because it kind of tapped into a little bit more of a bit of my history and a bit of some pain that I lived with, that I was able to kind of use arm wrestling to place it.
All right. Oh my God, that it kind of like flows. Damn, the Nightmare. So let's talk about this. The whole arm wrestling. This is how we came about and
Absolutely.
how we met, and with the whole, what brought you and what inspired you to want to be in this arm wrestling, which is, you know what it is, out where here, like where we live, you know, it's not something that is such a sport that is known or it's not something that is,
It's not
you know,
mainstream, not yet. At
right,
least.
it is not mainstream. It's not like you hear, yeah, tonight, you know, let's go out and watch some arm wrestling at the bar. You know,
No.
it's like, so, you know, how did you come about to wanting to be part of that?
So I was going to the Renaissance Fair with my family, and somebody recognized me from high school, and he said, "I remember you being really strong for no good reason, and we have an arm wrestling tournament. Would you want to enter?" And so, on a whim, without any formal training, I entered, and I got second place.
Oh, okay.
Fell in love with the sport at that moment. Found a TV show called Game of Arms.
Yes.
And connected with a few people on the TV show, Mike Aiello specifically. And,
Okay.
the rest is history, where I started practicing and fell in love with the sport that much more, because I came in and I was actually very overweight. I was 270 pounds, and I was...
Who would have known?
I was not feeling, you know, my best self, my best version of myself, and my son came up to me and said, "Dad, when you're feeling better one day, you know, we could do this." And that lit a fire under me, and so I jumped into arm wrestling and saw the weight classes as, you know, weight loss goals. And I've been doing it now for about 3.5 years, and I couldn't say I've been any happier doing anything else.
Wow, that is an amazing, you know, amazing story, and it just happens that you have mentioned Mike Aiello, who happens to be, you know, a neighbor, you know, of ours, and how, you know, he's into the pro, you know, he is a pro arm wrestler, and good that you connected with that, because along with that, that's how we also connected with a lot of other people who, you know, who would have known there was such a support for the arm wrestling community.
It's an unreal community. It's the camaraderie that's in it. It's second to none. I've never found anything like it. That we're always about uplifting each other and helping each other out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you mentioned your son.
Yes.
Is he like a fan? Is
He's a big fan of the sport. He loves that I've gotten healthy through it. He's one of my biggest motivators, and he's always cheering me on. You know, I'm sure he's at home watching this right now.
Oh,
hey,
let's
kiddo.
give him a shout. Yeah, let's give him a shout out.
And he's been my biggest motivator to getting to the next level. You know, the sport is not an easy one on the body, and there's times where you might want to quit. But you know, when you have, you know, that little light, a little life like that wants to inspire you and be a part of it, you can't. You got to keep motivated. You got to stay on your A game at all times.
Absolutely. Now, you just mentioned before how you felt like you were overweight. Now, also, so I know that also goes, the arm wrestling also goes by weight, you know, limits and weight, you know. So what made you feel that you needed to lose the weight? Like,
well, at first,
that's not...
My performance was lacking in the very
Okay.
beginning. I was just learning how to operate in the sport, and it's all about body mechanics. I've learned today, but my body was not cooperating with the techniques and the skills required to excel at the sport. And so actually I ran into a gentleman by the name of Paul Italia that recommended that I lose and drop a little bit more weight, you know, and that I would be more competitive at, you know, the weight class that I'm at right now. And he was not wrong. I found a lot of inspiration and motivation from other members of the arm wrestling community that saw, you know, people like Mike Aiello, people like Paul Italia, they were fit, they were doing well for themselves. So I was like, you know what, maybe I can have a piece of that pie if I join the ranks of being fit and living a healthier lifestyle.
Okay, that's fair enough. And so how does this, so, you know, I didn't want to jump too much into it because I want to leave the, you know, the good stuff for last, but it's like, it's so crazy and how awesome that we just finished coming back, like literally a day or two ago, from an amazing time and amazing tournament out in Puerto Rico.
It was amazing.
You know, to me, it was fascinating because it was just like kind of a coincidence where I happened to go and visit my family, you know, because I tend to visit there, you know, often. And when I heard that, you know, you were doing not only were they having a tournament, which is with, what's the name of
the Puerto Rico Arm Wrestling League?
The Puerto Rico Arm Wrestling League, which honestly, I didn't even know they had one. Okay.
That was the launch of it, actually. That was the very.
That was the launch.
That was the launch, and with Pulseo TV as pretty much the voice, bringing in structure from other entities across the United States that helped organize and create this amazing event that we're gonna. I guess we'll
Oh
get
my
into
God! So I was part. Wait. I was part of the launch of the Porter. I mean, how much more prouder can I have been, to be a part of, now it's historic,
Yep.
But when I heard that you were when you were doing it, I was like, oh my God, I gotta make this happen. I gotta go. I have to, I look, because me, I'm like the cheerleader of of the arm wrestling community.
Absolutely.
I love to support in any way I can. I want to use my platform to anyone who needs to the platform to talk about and promote, and I love being part of it. It's become something that I've grown to love. To watch, to support, the connections I've made, the network, the friendships. So especially with you, that I've known you for quite a while now doing this, I had to go and support, and I made sure that I made it happen, and it was amazing. And not only that, let's shout out our other friends. We have Pedro.
Pedro was there, absolutely.
Pedro Rodriguez.
Pedro Rodriguez, he's out of New Jersey.
Out of New Jersey, yes.
Yep, he's in Team Beast mode. And then another gentleman that was there that was pretty much helped orchestrate and have the vision of this was Manolo Sanchez.
Manolo, shout out to Manolo Sanchez, yes. I have to say that, I was looking forward to meeting him, and I'll say here live, and I was, I couldn't wait to get over there. I know you connected us, and we were going to talk, the event was so kind of overwhelming for a lot, and it was, I think, a little bit more of a turnout than we expected, that everybody was running around with chickens without a head.
Oh my God.
Manolo did excuse himself, and he said he was sorry. He sent me a message. Yes, thank you for that.
He's a good man.
That we couldn't, actually have, conversation. And oh my God, I totally understand. Because the way the event, ran was so super, and it was, and you came out a winner.
Yep, I came out a winner. I had a couple of different sub-events, I guess you could say it.
Yes.
Different categories. I had a super match against a very strong young man who's out of Florida, John Hutchinson.
Shout out to, yeah, absolutely.
He's
amazing.
Amazing, strong young man. He's an up-and-coming puller, a little less experienced, but he's a little larger in size than I was. I traded my experience for his size and strength. The match was close, though. It was 3-2. Definitely learned a lot what I needed to do for the next round. That I will have a rematch with him. And then I did enter the right-hand tournament. I got second place to Wesley Contes. He is their #1 guy at 176. That was an amazing match. Learned a lot from his speed. But I was able to secure first place in the left-handed division.
Yes.
So that was really cool.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? It is. And also, shout out, we got to shout out Pedro as well, because Pedro came out as a winner as well.
Yes, he did. Most certainly.
So how does this change the way, how does this kind of sport change your mentality, the way you outlook on life, the way that it has it become part of your life,
Absolutely.
has it changed, how does arm wrestling come hand in hand with life?
Well, in the sport of arm wrestling, the slightest micro adjustment of the wrist changes the outcome of a match.
Okay.
And just like life, the slightest adjustment, micro adjustment of your perspective will change your day, week, month, or year, and in turn your life. And I have made that an integral part of what I do day in, day out. Just try to adjust my mindset. If I'm experiencing a hardship or experiencing something that is unexpected or blindsiding me, I try to, in that moment, readjust where I'm at and what I'm doing. And it's really helped tremendously because of the community involved. You have so much support, so many people who are very interested in helping you out, that I've built my own team surrounding it, surrounding that concept that, we're stronger together.
And the name of the team?
It's Primetime Pullers.
Primetime Pullers.
And it's been a great ride with them. We've gone to a couple of different competitions all across the nation and even internationally. I brought a couple of teammates up to Canada. That's where I got this bison right here.
Yes. That is like super amazing. Look at that.
It's
And
at the.
would you carry him on the plane? Did you carry him on the
No,
back?
we actually drove. We drove back down.
Oh, you drove to Canada?
Yeah, we drove to Canada. It was about a 9-hour drive.
9 hours. Ooh, yeah.
Definitely a long hike, but it was well worth it. Great experience.
Okay,
It was
did
at
you
the
put him in the
Ottawa-
front seat and you put a nice seatbelt on him?
He had his own spot.
Okay,
definitely.
he had his own spot. That's amazing. That's very original.
And we got to meet, superstars in the sport like Devin Lorette, and we hung out with him and different members, Evan Burgoyne, different members and names in the community that have been around for a while, that are big promoters of the sport, as well as, big athletes of the sport. And the greatest thing about arm wrestling that I love, Devin Lorette is at the very top of the sport. Yet I have his number and I can go ahead and talk to him.
Nice.
You can't do that with any other sport. I can't call up Michael
Yeah.
Jordan and say, hey, can you give me tips on how to
You can,
improve my game?
we'll get to, we'll work
Get there
around that,
eventually. But with the sport, the accessibility of the stars of the sport is extremely accessible. And it's super easy to get in contact with these people. That's what I love about it.
That's great. But you know what? I have a question because, you hear mostly or you see mostly this sport like, I don't know, you say in the, somewhere in Virginia or Oklahoma or, you don't really hear it going like, oh, it's a super, a big sport out in Long Island, New York, or, like you have your teams and you have those people, but it's just like, if it's it's a popular a sport that a lot of people enjoy, it's like, what is holding it back from becoming big, mainstream big? Like, what is holding back from? I mean, I know you have mentioned a couple of years ago you had the show Game of Arms.
Yeah.
And that was just like the beginning. That should have been,
It should have taken off.
it should have taken off. Like,
Well, it's differences of opinion. It's structure surrounding the sport that is lacking, but it's coming in. There are other entities that are bringing in a lot of really big structure. Like there's a gentleman by the name of Engin Terzi out in Turkey.
Okay.
That has elevated the sport tenfold since COVID. He really stepped into the light and brought a lot of arm wrestlers into a higher level of exposure, and so it's been a rocky but steady path to success.
Okay.
And, it is growing. It's but Rome wasn't built in overnight, right?
Right. No, we have to do more to get people knowledgeable on the sport and let them know that it's something that they can be part of, both as men and women. And I've seen the children as well, guided the right way with the proper training and the proper teachers. We can make this more of a popular a sport than it actually
Absolutely.
is right now. But this is amazing. So I want to recap again, this tournament in Puerto Rico that we just came from.
It was amazing.
Not only, the weather was amazing for the most part,
Yep.
and to actually, I learned a new word. Because every time that, I had to, I guess for my, my family in Puerto Rico, when I try to explain what I'm part of and what I like to support, and, arm wrestling, you translate it into Spanish, is like lucha de brazos. It's like una lucha de brazos. Like, it just doesn't flow. It doesn't go right.
Yeah.
But I just learned a new word, and it's pulseo.
Pulseo, yep.
When you do that's called pulseo. So I learned that new word.
That is
so now when we say that word, now now it sounds more it sounds professional. It sounds legit now.
Yeah.
Instead of like lucha de brazo. Like what? Like, even me saying it sounds weird, but so but it was great, and all the pullers, that were there with the wives, and
There was a lot of families there. That's also a good thing. It's the sport does include the family. It includes the family, wives, children. There was a gentleman, Daniel Worley, brought his entire family. Both kids were there. His wife was there. So, and he's from Florida. They were on vacation,
vacation, of course,
enjoying it, but also part of the tournament.
Of course,
a very integral part of it. So it's a familial event.
Yeah, listen, I loved it. You know me, with my big mouth over there. What was I saying? What's that? Do you remember what the word of the day was?
Wepa.
Wepa!
You have to teach the Canadian John Terrian how to say it properly.
Yes, John Terry away. Listen. I think I tagged him. I think I had posted one of the pictures, and I had found the song that said exactly that. So I hope he's seen that and say that I didn't make that up. That it's actually, is one of the anthems. It's one of the Puerto Rican anthems. Wepa! But we had an amazing time. It was absolutely great, and I'm hoping that these tournaments are more often, more often, and they can grow more because I know for a fact that in speaking with other people and other, this is a sport that actually has gotten them out of trouble, and gives them a safe place and focus, on something. A lot of kids, turn to the basketball or they'll turn to, some other. But this is something that a lot, it takes up their time in the practice and all that. That it actually gives them motivation.
Absolutely, and it gives them a place to get some aggression out as well.
Right.
A lot of people that have that fighting spirit, they don't want to get punched in the face, so they use the sport of arm wrestling instead because it's not as violent per se, but you're able to get that, aggression out of your body and gives you a place to, feel like a level of escape, if you may.
Right, right. So what do you hope to get out of this arm wrestling and being what is your, let's say, motivation for the future? Like, what do you expect the arm wrestling for you for the future?
Well, I would love to see arm wrestling in the Olympics. That's for one. I think that it should be in the Olympics.
That's interesting.
That would be an amazing, amazing feat.
That is very interesting, and funny that you should say that because I've seen a lot of sports that I've never, ever seen him, like the dorkiest of sports. No, like things I'm like, what the heck is that? And that's in the Olympic. I mean, I can't even begin to describe to you what I've seen, that I've never even heard of. And I believe also what was in the works. I have a friend. I don't know if you're familiar. We have one of the original B-boys. His name is Crazy Legs. Does all the breakdancing and stuff like that. And they were actually, I think they were in the Olympics, or they were getting into the Olympics also for the breakdancing.
Awesome.
So I was like, wow.
That's that's very cool.
Yeah,
there's a lot of athleticism. We actually have an arm wrestler that's also a breakdancer.
Really? Yeah. Well, there you go. You can go and do two sports at a right.
At once, yeah.
But that is very fascinating. That's very interesting. Point to make that it should be in something.
Absolutely, and then also I would love to see it on a UFC style level as well, because I mean, who doesn't like turning on the TV and watching the UFC fights? There's a lot of people who enjoy that. Arm wrestling should be paired off with that as well. So I think there's a lot of different avenues that it can go into, but another one would be...
Do you think people take it serious? Like, do you think that people who watching, the spectators,
Not everyone understands it.
They're not understanding that it's not, they're not putting it in like it's a real sport, or it's probably just like a pastime to them.
Yeah, well, because, I mean, you got shows and movies like Over the Top, who make it look like it's a barroom sport. And yes, barrooms are where it's mostly done, but the gentleman, Enganterzi, he has it on a big stage and he creates a big event out of it, out of almost like an opera hall. So, you can have almost any venue that you can think of that can be an arm wrestling venue. It doesn't have to be a bar room. It can be taken as a gentleman's sport, which I've seen it as and I've experienced it as. I met a lot of people who I consider to be really stand-up individuals that you wouldn't catch them in a bar. They would prefer to compete on the stage.
And let's not forget the females.
Of course, the women's...
You didn't think. We have some of the most amazing and powerful girls in the, I call them girls, but, the females, that I believe don't get enough credit, for doing what they're doing. I believe we are a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Absolutely. So I think we need to shine a little bit more light on them,
I would love to see more females competing because the intensity that they bring to the table it's greater than the men, to be honest. Like, they have this energy and enthusiasm that they bring that I've never seen in any other sport or any other arena. And I would love to see more of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Why not? We're fierce. We're
Absolutely.
fierce, and they work hard. I've seen them, and let me tell you something. I follow a lot of the international, female competitors, and we're talking about this is not. I think, we're like behind. We're behind when it comes to this because internationally, like overseas, you have these women that are in real. I mean, I've seen them all. I've seen the Arabs, they're competing.
Yep.
I've seen, in countries like you never think that,
Europe.
you have, Europe. It's like very, very big over there,
Absolutely.
So
It's a way of life.
yeah, so girl power. Let's just shed more light on them. Let's give them more credit than they're actually given, and I'm here for it. So we all need to bond together. Let's make this happen. So Dan, what I'm gonna do now is we're gonna take another quick commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna continue talking to Dan the Nightmare. Cha, 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 cha.
All right. Is everybody having a good time tonight or what? That's what I thought.
I don't wanna come back down from this town, this town, this town, this town, this town, this town. Let's go, 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 let's go. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
And welcome back. And if you're just joining us, you missed a lot, so I don't know where you were. But anyway, so you know that you can go watch it. Remember, we are on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on Roku, we're on X. I mean, we are everywhere, guys. So there is no excuse. And here I am. We're here talking with Dan the Nightmare. So much we've already talked about, but there's so much more to talk about. We just can never get enough of all the experience and all the the tournaments that we've been attending.
Yeah.
And so what else can you add to that? Like what
So
else can
in the tournament we were just at, the King of Puerto Rico.
the King of Puerto Rico, okay? Y'all heard.
It was amazing. North Americans came down to pretty much show their might against a bunch of Puerto Ricans. And the Puerto Ricans
Wepa.
battled. There was 14 super matches, and so it was like a team battle, if you may. Team Puerto Rico versus Team North America. And, it wasn't a very quick and easy run over.
No, it wasn't.
It was
I was
not.
there.
It was not a quick and easy run over. We, even though North America won the majority of the matches, Team Puerto Rico showed up to show that they're not going to roll over in any way or form. And I'm very impressed with everyone's performance with that. It
Yes.
was amazing to see.
Way. Oh my my God! If you guys, didn't get this, I'm not going home saying "wepa," then I don't know, because that is the anthem, and I got everybody with the wepas.
Oh my God, yeah, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
I got it with the wepas, but so Dan here on my show, I do a little something called What Now.
Okay.
I do a little What Now because there's always something going out there that's trending, and it's just like what's going on, what now, and I just kind of go off in a little tangent here, and let's see what is really going on out there. Bobby. All right. So, Elon Musk reveals the first human patient has received a brain implant from his startup Neuralink. All right. So from what I was reading, so now once they have this implant, humans have the ability to control computers, or the computers control the brain, something to that effect. Something with computers and robots, and now the brain can control the computers.
That's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little scary. It sounds like a little Terminator,
So
come to real life.
Hello? You remember the movie I, Robot?
Yeah, iRobot even, yeah.
It's what the scary part is that it's real.
Mm-hmm.
And as you see it with the world right now, everything is being overrun by computers.
Absolutely.
Everything is being taken over by robots. You see it firsthand already. The supermarkets already. You don't see any cashiers. It's the self-checkout.
Yeah.
Do you even see? You ever see even a robot going around picking up and cleaning the aisles?
Yeah.
No more do you say, okay,
Clean up on aisle 5.
Spill on aisle 5, and you see somebody go there with the mop, and
No, you don't see that.
It's actually a robot.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is insane.
So not only you have that, you already see in the toll. There's no toll booth people anymore.
Nope. There's a camera that takes a picture of you.
It's now, and it's so sad because all these people without the jobs. They're being taken away. And for some reason, I always get back to that because I always say this, if I knew then what I know now, I would have loved to somehow, when I had gone to college instead of taking up my other major, I would have definitely taken up something in computers. Because now, with the way we run by computer, they're going to need your, computer analysts, your computer technicians, your computer programmers. Everything's going to be taken over by computers and robots, but then you're going to need the people to fix those computers and robots and to create, programmers. And so anybody that's going into college, think about it. You want to make sure that when you, take a major, then when you graduate, that there is a demand for that spot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So I think that is the way to go. So, but that is, Elon Musk is just getting into everything. I thought that by him, when he was doing the rockets.
The rockets, yeah.
It was billions of dollars he spent. How much more billions do you have? Now you just want to put implants on people's head. This is crazy. Bobby, is this crazy? Crazy. Jesus, All right, what's our next one?
I'm an 80-year-old dad, and it's great. Everything that I'm consumed with or worried about or this and that just goes away when I look at her. So that in itself is, wondrous. She has a very sweet kind of way of looking at you and just taking you in. And my other daughter, Helen, had that too. We just look at you and take it in. So I don't know where it's going to go with her later when she gets older. But she's thinking and she's observing everything and watching. It's really interesting. I want to be around for as long as I can to enjoy it.
Bobby, you like okay.
Okay.
How can I say this? To each his own, right? To each
Yep.
his own. Everybody has the right. Nobody can. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's not
80
okay.
years old. You. I mean, I like Robert. Like, no offense, please. Oh my God, nobody, please don't anybody take this to offense. At 80 years old, and you're having a newborn baby. I don't know. This doesn't sit well.
No.
You should be like on your second or third grandchild, or even great. Like, what are you doing? Like, come on, people. Is that selfish though?
It is.
Is it selfish for the child? But I mean, why would even the mother of the child,
Be okay
I don't know
with
if his
it.
girlfriend, wife, whatever it is, how is she okay with this?
I'm just thinking about riding a bicycle, teaching the kid how to ride a bicycle.
She's gonna, you know what? I don't know. That was just to show, like, once again, to each his
Yep.
own, and I'm not here, but I just had to put that out there. I don't know, 80 years old is a little bit too late to be starting a family. But anyway, let's just go to the last one.
At breaking news, Broadway is in mourning with the loss of one of its most iconic pioneering actors, the great Chita Rivera. Her death was announced in a statement by her daughter today. Rivera originated the role of Anita in West Side Story in the Broadway version. She also starred in Chicago, Bye Bye Birdie, and Jerry's Girls. In 2018, Rivera received the Special Tony Award for Lifetime Achievement in the theater. Chita Rivera was 91 years old. CBS.
Wow, so we are in mourning. Chita Rivera, she is an icon, a legend. If you don't remember her, West Side Story is like an unforgettable, story.
love that
Whether
story.
you've seen the movie or the play, she was incredible. So condolences to the family. And 91, wow, that was,
She was a long life.
she lived great. Even though they did say that she had an illness that, that kind of like got worse. But
Over time, yeah.
but that was sad. But that's life, right?
Yep.
That is life. And so Dan, so besides all the arm wrestling and everything, which is amazing, you are also a licensed massage therapist. Tell me a little bit about that, because if anybody knows me, I'm a sucker when it comes to massages, but you specialize, so tell me a little bit about that.
So I got 13 years of massage therapy career under my belt, and people always wonder, how does that go well with arm wrestling? And actually, it's all about body mechanics, as I mentioned earlier. Learning how to use your body to help somebody else feel better, whether they're suffering from a car accident injury or a fall or a post-surgery injury that they're just not healing from. My job is to help them feel better. I also specialize in deep tissue and sports massage, help other athletes kind of recover from a sports injury. And it's been a really interesting career to teach people the importance of wellness in their life, because it shouldn't be
Absolutely.
shouldn't be a luxury. A lot of people consider it such. We're conditioned to believe that we should take better care of our cars and homes than we do our own bodies.
Absolutely.
But those are replaceable. This isn't.
Right, absolutely. It's a good point. Absolutely good. But you got into this even way before you even thought about arm wrestling.
Absolutely.
And how funny how it just came hand in hand,
Quite literally.
Yeah.
Pun fully intended.
That is amazing. It's like your calling. It's like a calling.
Yep.
It's like
Both have strengthened each other in their own respects, because I've learned more about how to move my body at the arm wrestling table, but I've also learned how to, maneuver my body better as a massage therapist as well. So to prevent injury, and self-care has become very important and pivotal in my success in both fields.
And you enjoy what you do, right? It's
Absolutely.
like
When you have someone coming to you with you could clearly see they're in pain, they're stressed out, they're not enjoying their life, and they leave your room enjoying that they feel better, they're pain-free or pretty damn near close to it, and they feel like that they can see a better quality of life from regular services. There's no real true dollar amount that can, second that. It's amazing to experience as a massage therapist, but also just as an individual that you get to help heal somebody or put them on a pathway to healing.
That's awesome. Now, do you put some of your techniques out on the arm wrestling with the guys that are in pain? Do you like put some of your
I do make recommendations.
Like,
yeah, I
know
do
exactly what you need.
I do make recommendations on rehab work, different types of exercises, because as a massage therapist, I'm very well versed in different ways on how the muscles move, and kinesiology is a very important part of that, and that's just this overall study of muscle movement and body movement, and I'm able to give people exercises and different techniques that they can benefit from. I utilize a lot of CBD in my practices, and I've found that that's actually helped me tremendously at the table, at the arm wrestling table, and I've been able to share that information with a lot of arm wrestlers who have been experiencing pain for long periods of time because they didn't know any better.
Okay, well that's fascinating. I think this is definitely the calling. I mean, it's like a magnet when you're doing something that you were doing previously, and to find the arm wrestling, combine them both, it's like a best of both worlds right there.
And since I found arm wrestling, my health and wellness have become a priority for me, and losing the weight has actually given me a little bit more courage to kind of branch out on my own, and I developed my own business.
Absolutely, that's great.
It's called Needed Solace LLC. I have a website. Feel free to go ahead and check that out.
Share, yes.
Check that out. It's neededsolacellc.com.
And that's also a massage.
It's my massage therapy business, yeah.
That's massage. That is amazing and wonderful. So on your free time, are you on the massage? You're gonna show some techniques to the people. You're recruiting as well as
Some people actually, when I'm actually massaging them, they find out that I'm an arm wrestler. They actually challenge me after I've relaxed. I'm like, you're too relaxed for me to even try this with you. Maybe you can come visit our practices.
Oh, that is so funny. You arm wrestle, then come to me, and well, that's amazing. That is great. So. Is there anything that what's in the future now? Do we have any upcoming events? Do we have any promotions?
There is an event coming up on February 17th. It's a couple of buddies of mine, Ivan Marrero, I think that's how you spell his last name.
I think we have a flyer for that.
That's going to be upstate New York in Fishkill, New York. It's going to be a really fun event. Looking forward to seeing that. I'm unfortunately not going to be competing at it, but I do plan on making the trip up there.
Okay. It's nice to show support.
Absolutely.
Great.
And then we have our friends down in, I believe in Philadelphia area having an event as well, the 98%.
Okay.
They always have this Winter Blast event. I don't have the flyer for that, unfortunately, but that's going to be March 23rd. And then my own event that I've been hosting, this will be the 4th year. It will be a big event. This one is, we call it the Summer Kickoff Barbecue.
Okay.
That we pretty much bring all the different arm wrestling entities around the world, around our corner of the world, if you may. And now people from Puerto Rico and Canada are going to be coming to it.
Amazing.
Which is awesome. I look forward to having them.
I can't wait.
But it's to help me share my wisdom of wellness, if you may, to the masses of arm wrestling. And as well as, help promote local entities, local businesses that are trying to get their name out there as well.
Absolutely.
So it's a good networking event. And then after that, we have the World Series of Arm Wrestling with Greg Sharp, I think it's August 9th or early August. That'll be here on Long Island, which is going to be great. I'm not sure exactly where the location is. And then at the end of the year, I got the biggest challenge as of yet, which I believe I sent you over some of the information. My buddy LeRae Jenkins down in Tennessee is going to have the biggest bracket I've ever seen, 32-man bracket at 176 pounds. I'm going to be getting involved in that, and I look forward to making a big statement there.
All right. Well, Dan, oh my God, this has been such a pleasure. Like always, time flies when you're having fun, and it's almost about that time to wrap it up. But why don't you let everybody know what are your handles, your Instagrams, any kind of websites that you want to let them know where they can find you, to follow you, if they want more information.
Sure. On Instagram, that's going to be the easiest place to find my arm wrestling career is Dan the Nightmare, and then my team is Primetime Pullers. So those are the two places you can find my arm wrestling journey and my team, where I highlight all things arm wrestling, including some things with my son as well. And then for massage therapy, if you go to www.neededsolace, it's spelled KNEADED, Solace, LLC.com. So feel free to reach out for any massage therapy needs. We do in-house services. We do corporate chair massage, corporate wellness programs, and we have gift cards for sale as well.
That is incredible, and it's amazing to hear, and I'm so glad to hear very inspiring stories. I'm glad to hear that you're on this journey, with the arm wrestling, and it's fascinating to see you grow, and I'm glad to be there to witness that. Dan, thank you so much for coming through and chit-chatting with me.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll definitely let everybody know what the outcomes and the progress that you've been making.
My pleasure.
So, yeah, thank you for that. And everyone, it's come. The time has come. I've been crying a lot lately. You guys, you inspire me, you motivate me. And I say that from the bottom of my heart, guys. I do this for you guys, and I thank you so much, all my loyal viewers who watch me every week and always asking me, who's next on your show? When is your show? I didn't see your show, and I love what you do. And guys, I read all your messages, and I do this because you motivate me and you inspire me. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Los quiero mucho. I love you guys a lot. I'll see you next time, same place. And I will, we will do an outro video, one of Bobby's favorite videos, one of the most inspiring videos for you. So, good night. To all the people having birthdays, let's be grateful, right? Let's be grateful that we have another birthday to celebrate, enjoy life. I don't know about you, but I love life. And I love my life. And everyone has their ups and downs. Life is not perfect. It's what you make of it. And I want to live. I want to live every day. I want to see beautiful things. I thank God every time I wake up each morning. My mom always instilled in me, when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you do is just thank God for giving you that gift to open up your eyes and to see the world and to see, I'm going to fight for my life. I'm not ever going to put my life in danger because I love life.